Los Cabos Drumsticks present
Quarter notes.
Okay, let's just start it in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you're doing like the it's like the slates on TV, you know how they do like the and
Yeah.
1 or 5, 4,
4, 3. Yeah,
and
there you
then
go.
roll. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so welcome to the third episode of Quarter Notes. It's a podcast.
Hey, it's a
Um,
podcast.
It's a podcast presented by Los Cabos Drumsticks, and we haven't been fired yet. I'm Dre.
This might get us fired. Let's do the intro, but in reverse. Los Cabos presents.
Quarter Notes.
That's it.
All right. So yeah,
Good times.
I'm Dre. You know him.
I'm Rich.
Yeah. So Rich is fresh off the boat. Just did a stretch of shows in the UK. When did you get back? Just a couple days ago?
Yeah, I got back late Sunday night.
Late because
Sunday night.
of
So Sunday morning kind of thing. Just like the flight. So yeah, I got like a flight in to Montreal and then had about a 4-hour layover or so, and then got into Charlottetown, even a little longer, and then got into Charlottetown around midnight.
Okay. So was the layover by design or was that delays?
No, a little delayed, but just kind of it's just the best we can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a ton of flights to Charlottetown.
Yeah.
Not enough people coming here, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
you had to.
anyway. What's the alternative? Fly into New Brunswick, like Moncton, and drive what, 3 hours?
Maybe.
Who wants
Probably
to drive?
not even 2 hours or. But you know what? Who wants to do that?
Right.
And this is getting real local. So anybody, we're losing people. But there used to be a case for that. I thought it was a good, to go there. But now, gas prices these days and the bridge toll. So like, even if you're saving on your ticket, not that this is why we just do this because it's just what needs to be done. But, if I was just going on my own personal trip, even then, you always have to factor in the gas and the bridge and your time.
Yeah.
And,
so
so
when you fly
anyway.
out of, so I actually had a question about that. When you fly out of PEI, do they tack on a bridge toll to the flight because you're leaving the island? I was wondering that.
But they don't. But they're not cheap flights out of PEI generally. Like, I guess Canada's fairly expensive to fly anyway. I think compared to like, let's say the US, but yeah, no bridge toll that I know of.
It's a tariff to leave the island. Yeah. So other than that, like flights were okay, travel was all right. I mean, it's winter time, so
yeah, no, pretty lucked out.
Yeah,
we didn't run into any problems either way.
Yeah.
I think some of the guys didn't get all their luggage, but I think it's coming, but because it was their little tight connection. But whatever.
Okay.
It's bad, for as bad as it could be, it was not that bad at all, I gotta say.
So gear wise, did you just have a kit over there ready for you, or did you have to lug like? So I know the guys would bring their guitars and stuff, but
bring guitars, pedals. I bring Los Cabos drumsticks. I bring a cowbell, and I have a Yamaha kit that I play, or like I have my own Yamaha kit, but I rent Yamaha kits. That's what I play, and I'm just giving a shout out to all the wonderful brands that I endorse, and the Peisty cymbals, the giant beats.
Yes.
So that's what we had over there, and they were
giant.
Everything sounded amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, playing in arenas like that, like the front of house, like the sound guys are just world class. Like,
well, yeah, we had a fellow by the name of Ben Perrier traveling with us doing sound, and he nailed it. He's a really good sound guy,
Mhm.
and not a bad guy himself. So,
Well,
no,
that's probably more important.
great dude.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, we had a great time. We played 7 shows in 8 days. Now we were the first of 3. We were supporting The Darkness and Blackstone Cherry. And so we were the first up, and I'll tell you, it's pretty easy going when you're the first band up. We had 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're the first band, like last to sound check, first to play, then you're off the stage and your day is done. So it's like the shortest work day and the shortest show. And I mean, there's pressure to like, play well and you want to make new fans and things, but like, it's also not your show. So it's just, I mean, in so many ways, it's very pretty easy going.
Yeah. You're the
So
warm up.
we're the warm up.
Yeah. So,
But we had a great time. And I think I'd say, dare I say, we might have made a few fans on this run. It was a really good, actually. I thought like there was a great bill, like the 3 bands. I thought it was a
killer lineup.
well-rounded rock and night.
Yeah. Yeah. All 3 bands are awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm just going by, because Danko has a lot on his Instagram, like, footage and stuff, and people tagging the band. It all goes to his IG account and stuff. And just even from the phones in the crowd, like the sound was just massive. Like those rooms must have sounded huge.
Yeah, no, they sounded great. I mean, I was obviously never out front for us, but I was out front for both the other bands, and yeah, everybody sounded great. And yeah, I gotta give it to Ben. He did a great job for us too.
Cool.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna dive into some of the touring stuff with our topics. But I do want to shout out, we were going to have a guest on this episode because we did mention we'd be bringing people on. And unfortunately there was a bit of an emergency and the guest couldn't be with us this week, but does want to come back on when he's able. So we're going to have somebody on, and dare I say, it's going to be a pretty awesome conversation, just given the caliber of who we're going to be bringing on and their knowledge.
I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, so can't wait to do it. He's a buddy of mine, so it's going to be a good chat. So stay tuned. Not going to say who it is. Going to keep you in suspense.
Come back. Basically, what you're saying is, it won't always just be us 2 jokers on here.
Yeah, right.
There will be,
people that know what they're talking about.
To listen. Yeah.
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 All right.
It will get better.
Yeah. So the topics. Before we get into that, a little trivia question. A lot of people might know this, some might not. But as far as the brand Los Cabos Drumsticks, do you know where the name came from? Like where they came up with the name?
I have no idea.
No? Okay.
Do you want me to guess?
Go for it.
Is it about a beach? Is it about a beach?
Yeah, you're like adjacent to what it is.
Okay.
That's a pretty good first guess. So what it actually is it's to do with the Cape. The Spanish word for the Cape is Los Cabos. And that's because of being a maritime based company in the province that has coastal inlets. So in and out, exporting, importing, plus the rhythmic waves from a beat of a drum. So there's the name Los Cabos Drumsticks.
Wow.
That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm not making it up because it's right there on the website.
And you guys have some serious waves over there. Let's talk about the Cabos of Fundy.
Like, oh man, I haven't talked about that since like high school. And I'm old, so
that's some pretty fast tidal tides.
Yeah. I'll take your word for that because I'm not a meteorologist.
Isn't that what the thing is?
Yeah. The Bay of Fundy. Yeah, that's the whole.
I'm not a tide scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, I just throwing. I don't know. I was going there with you, but that's cool.
But yeah, that's where the name came from. That's where they got the idea for the name. I think it sounds cool. Yeah. And then
Me too.
the modern abbreviation of LCD is, I think it's cool. I like
Yeah,
it. So
me too.
cool. So that's the name. Anyway, on to the show.
I like the trivia. Let's do more trivia next time.
All right, cool. You
Should
see
be
if you can stump me next time. Because you pretty
okay.
much had
Yeah.
it. So
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm
Bring it
up
on.
next.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna embarrass myself so bad.
No.
All right. So while you're on the road, kind of
Hmm.
tying in a little bit because we're not, it's not, this isn't going to be like a all about health and wellness all the time, but we are going to dive into some of that with the podcast in this episode a bit, to do with being on the road and how to maintain that. So in that vein, like with your fit drummers, were
Hmm.
you able to keep that going on the road, like with your clients and stuff?
Yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
I was. Yeah. Um, just had, yeah, we still kept our appointments. Just, I would just stay up late. And luckily this time, like we'd be going to a hotel. And so we
Mhm.
would be back at the hotel in time to get on a call with the time
Awesome.
change. It all worked out. And so, yeah, I was able to keep that going. And yeah, also was able to just keep my own uh, like workouts and
Mhm.
mobility work and healthy eating going on the road as well, which is good.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So the
which is important. Important.
yeah, so that's just part of the topic is like the challenges on the road. So where it was such a quick run, where it was 7 shows in 8 days,
Hmm.
um, not a whole lot of days in between, like to kind of get your bearings and have that day off to kind of, recharge. What did you do to prepare for that intensive a run? Like, did you approach like a marathon or did you just like hammer down, sprint to the finish kind of thing?
Well, no, I think I just I guess just be doing what I normally do before a run, even though it was like 7 shows in 8 days. That's actually not uh on like that's not new for us. So usually we would do stuff like that, but be playing like our 80-minute set. So it was actually uh this is actually quite easy for like the intensity of the shows. Like sure
Hmm.
you go out and you really want to make the most of those 30 minutes, but you don't, you know, you're still just playing the drums at like not you don't try twice as hard or something. It's not like I'm going to hit them twice as hard just because I have
Hmm.
30 minutes or whatever. But that being said, like with the adjustment to get in there, um, I think just trying to maintain everything, like keep it as normal as possible, like from my life here to there.
Hmm.
And it's not always possible because I'm going to be sitting in a van for a few hours every day, which I wouldn't be doing at home. But otherwise, like when that van gets there, getting out and walking, just getting out and going for a walk. Because, most of the venues are, not all, but most were like in a nice town center. And even if they're not, then you're kind of, a little walk in the countryside or something. Other guys in the band going for runs. Uh, my knees were giving me a bit of grief, so I wasn't doing any running this time, but I was getting out for a walk every day. Uh, like a little workout in the hotel room every day. Um, so just, yeah, just trying to, I don't know, keep it real when you're out
Hmm.
there, not just like lose every good habit that you built at home or that I built at home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that's easy to do. I know it's easy to like just end up sitting around because there's a lot of time to wait between, you know, just the whole day. Like you're playing,
Yeah.
and when you're playing the drums, you're sitting down. So like, you're in the van or in the bus or whatever, and you're sitting down, and then you go inside and you sit in the dressing room and you just go on your phone and you're sitting down. It's really easy to do that.
Yeah.
So just by design, it's like I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
I'm going to be on my feet as much as I can, and I'm going to
Plus
walk around.
you get to see where you are. I mean,
Plus, there's that.
the show only takes up a small, well, I guess the evening, like the most of your evening, because when she still can't clear my throat from the last episode.
Dang.
Yeah, damn. Um, so like where the show only takes up like most of your nighttime during the day, like you got to fill your time doing something like, seeing the sights, going to a restaurant or cafe or whatever,
Hmm.
checking out the local things and kind of trying to immerse yourself in whatever culture that they have in that town or whatever. That's, because whenever I'm like traveling for vacation or whatever, that's kind of what I like to do is find the spots where people eat, because food is a huge
Hmm.
part of the culture, right? Of wherever you go. So always trying
Like find where
different
the
things
locals
like
eat.
that. Yeah, find where the
Yeah.
locals eat or
Yeah.
what the place is known for, like cuisine wise or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
which then begs the whole part of, eating on the road, that kind of thing. So how did
Yeah.
you, so for diet wise, like, did you find it challenging to find healthier options, or is it kind of like what's on the road is road food?
I did okay this time. So, but this is a big thing, like a big challenge for musicians for sure, and especially depends where you're touring. Because I've had to be in the past like super creative in how I like got nutrition. Like I would bring a blender with me, like whether it was in North America, and then I had to buy like a European blender that would work like on their different
Right, yeah,
power.
because of the power supplies. Yeah.
Yeah, um, and output or whatever. But yeah, I had, and I would like bring Greens Plus with me and like protein pack. Like I had like a suit. Most of my suitcase was like supplements and just different foods, that I go to the grocery store and get stuff. This one, I didn't have to do that, luckily. One thing I found myself doing too was uh, like eating a little bit less during the day, actually, because I would just be like, knew that I'd be sitting in that van for a while. And yeah, so just not eating, not saying like, I didn't eat because I would make up for it like near dinner time and stuff. But like, yeah, just not really gorging myself. Um, Plus, on in the UK, if anybody that's toured there will know, and if you haven't yet done this, it's maybe a good tip. Is they have all these like rest stops, like we do here, but they have these like little grocery stores in there, the M&S
Hmm.
stores, Marks and Spencer, and they have like all these like little salads and like there's like wraps and stuff too, but there's like all these little salads and like uh ginger shots and like smoothies and whatever. And it's like actually pretty good options that you can like have like your like a little lunch or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, Unlike, it's just like even like I know in Ontario or the East Coast is even harder for that. Like you're gonna get like some like roast beef sandwich or something, or like
Yeah.
or go to like
A
what I
sub.
mean, like gas
Yeah.
station sandwich or like
Yeah.
Tim Hortons is your best bet. Man, I can remember being on the road and like we were so like poor too that we had to like just getting like a tomato on our bagel would be like that would be like our nutrition. we thought we were we thought we were helping ourselves out anyway. But
Yeah. We're splitting boxes of
yeah,
tidbits.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But I find, what, without like, at all being, I mean this at all preachy, but like the best thing that I found is just like not to like feel good on the road, and like it's just so important with the eating is like just not hitting the beers every night,
Mm.
or like not drink, because that's like an easy thing to do because they're there,
Hmm.
they're like part of your rider, and like whatever, it's easy to tuck in, so easy.
Yeah.
But like it's not just that, you know alcohol is bad for you or something. It's like, but it's like that as soon as you start drinking, there's those calories you're getting in.
Yeah.
You're gonna whatever, get tipsy, whatever. But then you're also going to probably want to eat something crappy that night, and then the
Hmm.
next morning you're going to feel like crap, so you're going to want something greasy then too, and then
Yeah.
the energy is going to suck the whole next day. So like that's just one thing that, like, again, teach your own whatever. But that was something that I like was so stubborn about giving up. And then when I like now that I have, it's like touring is so much more enjoyable, and
Yeah.
I have so much more energy on stage every night, and I just feel good the whole time,
Yeah.
as opposed to like not really feeling good until pretty much like dinner time,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
the
know?
next day. Yeah. There's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Like you've got to figure what, what's the pros and cons. Like, the pros, the social aspect of it and stuff like that. But a lot of people, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but I've noticed a lot of people now um are kind of not big drinkers anymore. And I don't know if that's
Yeah.
because, in our younger days, we got all that stuff out of our system and, all the partying and stuff. And now that we're, turn that page and we're getting older, that it, that it's just not worth the next day and feeling groggy and
Yeah.
wasting a whole day, especially where
It might be. Yeah.
if you're on the road like that, you know, being stuck in a van or traveling, feeling that way is just not not worth it, not conducive to a good time overall, not just for yourself, but for everybody around you too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Totally. It
Yeah.
could be age. It could be an age thing.
Yeah. It could be age. Yeah.
I
Um,
don't know.
yeah.
But yeah,
And
man.
yeah, eating healthy it's definitely a choice because there's always options to not, and it's always easy to take the easy way of and especially, I mean, you were talking about earlier, like the price of gas, like the price of groceries and food, like to eat healthy is not cheap, so
No.
there's that. It all depends on what your budget is on the road. If you're slumming it from town to town, you're not going to necessarily be able to spring for, the salads and the wraps and stuff. It's easier to grab a couple chocolate bars and a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
all about
that
choice.
is cheaper, but like, I don't know. It's so much better to eat something real food.
Yeah.
And like, the Burger King and McDonald's and whatever, like it really isn't that much of a difference in price anymore. Like
Hmm.
those were like $5 or something, for like a meal
Oh,
back when I was
it's
in
like $12
back in
now
my high
for
school days. But like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like it's not
It's
that
$12
different.
for a combo anywhere now.
And you take there again, like I'm not a teetotaler here, where, like not telling everyone not to have a drink, but if you take have one less beer, then you can afford to have like buy one less beer that night. You have no excuse not to like spend an extra $5 on something like real food, that's not
Yeah.
like
Have an
not
apple.
gonna like you're not gonna find it on your floor in your car 8 months from now and it looks exactly like it did when it was going in about to go in your mouth, kind of thing. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
I am getting preachy. I said I don't get preachy, but I'm getting preachy. But I don't know.
No,
I think
no, but
it's just making decisions that's just where I'm at, I guess. I guess this is my thing. That's all I'm
well,
gonna say. This is my thing now.
well, as drummers, and because we are burning calories and we do need to have that type of energy, clean energy. It's like when you're putting fuel into your car, like the cleaner the fuel, the better it's going to run. So, when you're playing on stage, especially, when you're on a tour or you're playing a run of shows, you want that to go as smoothly as possible. And, putting in the cleaner fuel helps you get farther and get there faster. So it's kind of the same principle, really. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm one to talk because um, back back in 2016, I was about, I'd say I was about 220 pounds. Um, and that's when I kind of, made that choice to get healthy or whatever. And so started, working out and eating healthy and stuff like that. And then a few years down the road, I was down to about 183. My goal was to get to 180. And then
Nice.
that's when quarantine hit. And then so
Mm,
everything shut down, the gyms, so working out in the living room
that's
just wasn't
such a
the
bummer.
same, you know. So because when you're working out and they say you have to eat to lose weight when you're working out, which is true because your body needs those calories and you can get into the whole macro counting and all that stuff. Um, so I kept eating like I was going to the gym because I was used to eating that much
Mm,
food, but then I wasn't burning the calories. So just like that, the weight came right back. So
yeah.
now I don't know what your thoughts are on, and this is like I don't want this to turn into like a health and fitness
No, no.
program, but I've gotten back into doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing
Okay,
like I'm doing like a 16/8. So I'll fast
nice.
from 8 p.m. until noon, and then I'll break my fast with lunch, and then repeat.
Hmm.
Um, do you do that on the road? Like, would that be something that you'd recommend for doing on the road? So whereas you're stuck in a vehicle for so long, and like, what are your thoughts on fasting, and is it beneficial on tour?
I like to actually. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was doing. Like, I can't claim to do have done it every day of the tour, but a lot of the days, that's what I would do. And here's why I think it's here's some of the benefits of it. There's the science of like what happens in your body when
Hmm.
you do intermittent fasting. Like after like all the food is like kind of broken down, your body can start to repair itself and stuff like that. There's
Hmm.
like benefits like that. But what is another benefit of doing something like that on the road is like, okay, I'm going to eat my dinner. And when I finish eating my dinner, that's the last thing I'm gonna eat that night. Like, and then same thing, like so I think it just cuts down on like snacking. And like a lot of the snacking would be like then you're getting into your pop chips and bar, like
Yeah.
kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? My buddy has that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
give me a bar, Dad.
Yeah. Give me
Going to the
Snickers.
rink. Pop chips and bar, Dad. Uh that's for you, Brian. Anyway, I think like that's like one of the sneaky things like is and that's I guess just to say as well, like with the intermittent fasting, it's one of the things that I think is the most powerful about it is that it makes you a bit more conscious about what you're eating. And as long as you don't like 12 o'clock comes around the next day and you're like
Shoving
go
everything in.
immediately for the
Yeah.
pop chips and bar, like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, no, I'm actually gonna like I have maybe fewer meals to think about today. But so like I'm gonna make them count. And
Hmm.
there could be the argument there as well of like I'm gonna, I didn't have breakfast to pay for, so I'm gonna like put a little bit more money into having a little bit higher quality
Hmm.
like lunch or dinner or
Yeah.
whatever. And so I would have coffee during the like the morning. I would still
Yeah.
go for coffee. I wasn't like strict intermittent fasting.
Well,
But
depends what
yeah,
you're
I
putting
found it
in the
like it just
coffee.
yeah,
If
I
you're
guess
drinking the
that's true.
coffee
True.
black, then you're still
Just black
fasting.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like yeah, I would just do that and it felt good. Like there was a bit of like a little bit of willpower there to exercise, but like yeah, you just kind of feel good. Just like you wake up just feeling light and not like that's the other thing too, like when you crushing the chips at night, which I get it because that's another thing that's always on the rider too, and it's easy, 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 and they're delicious. Um, quick aside, covered bridge chips. You like those?
Dude,
They're
amazing.
so good, eh?
They're
Yeah,
so
they're so
good.
good.
We should
Dill
try and get
pickle.
them
I
on
love.
the. Oh.
I know they should. Can we co-sponsor? Co-sponsor this? Can we do one Jip episode where like
Yeah, yeah.
I'll pretend
Then
I'm not this
we got to
health
be
drummer
careful.
guy.
We got to be careful. We can't, encroach on Danko's bag of chip stuff.
Right. This one fan, I made this video once to say like I was like I just made pretended I came up with the idea, and then it was great when one of the fans got my back, called them on it. Anyway,
Yeah, but yeah,
uh
Covered Bridge are amazing chips, and it's
yeah,
so easy to just open the bag, and then before you know it, it's gone.
Danko Jones, by the way, for anyone who's listened doesn't know, I'm in the band Danko Jones, and Danko Jones has a chip, kind of like like a little a series
Mhm.
on chips, Danko and a bag of chips, and
It's my favorite show
pretty
on
good.
TV or on YouTube,
Yeah, he
Instagram.
reviews chips. So anyway, dill pickle cover bridges are great, but not to have every night when you're on the road because then you wake up with that like you had too much salt the night before and you kind of wake up like just something's not right. And
Yeah,
so anyway, that's yeah, that's cool. Intermittent fasting.
yeah.
How's it working for you?
I'm about a week in. Like I say, and I'm gonna ramp up the whole fitness side of it too, but it's kind of given me more energy before I start with the workouts again. Um,
Nice.
And I mean,
Nice. Love it.
I have a gym shed that's not heated, so it's shut down for the winter. So come spring, we're gonna
Yeah.
get the heat going and stuff, and hit the gym with the actual gym gear and stuff. So for now, it's just cardio, and which is better than nothing, but it's not the same as like weight training and stuff like that. You're not burning the same amount of calories through the day because they say, and we're gonna get nerdy here. So they say when you're doing cardio, you're burning calories in the moment. And as soon as you stop and your heart rate returns to normal, you stop burning calories. Whereas if you're weight training, you're lifting the weights, you're tearing the muscles. Then when your workout is done, your body then starts to heal itself. So it's still burning calories all day long. So the
Mm.
benefits to weight training and working out like in a gym setting is way better than just doing cardio every day. So
Do you do
that's
any
kind of
body
where I'm
weight
at.
stuff?
Uh,
Any stuff like in your house?
like when I stand up and sit down and walk around the house, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not into calisthenics and stuff like that. Like, push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that, maybe, but I don't have like a bar to do pull-ups or any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
I could give you some stuff to do on the side. We'll do it after
okay,
the
cool.
stuff, so you can do some. But
Um,
yeah, and getting some good, making sure you get like good quality protein in, just to continue down the nerd train.
mhm,
But that's generally something that, like, I think protein's gotten a bad rap, but as far in general, I think, but it's one of the best, if we're talking like macros, like fats, protein, and carbs, like they're all important. You need them all.
mhm,
But like a lot of people probably don't get enough protein. And,
guaranteed.
there's probably someone screaming right now listening to this saying we all get too much protein. But for as far as like athletic performance and
Yeah,
recovery and that kind of stuff, um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. If
you
we're
want like
tying it
about
back
a gram
into
of protein for every pound you weigh.
yeah, so yeah, if we're tying it back into drums, because people are listening or watching this, and we're talking about
This is a drum
fitness.
podcast, not a
This is a
fitness
drum
podcast.
podcast, people, for real. But yeah, so when it comes to performance, having the protein is definitely going to help you, and eating foods that keep you fuller longer, so that are in richer carbohydrate, like complex carbohydrates, like brown rice versus white rice. Eating more oats and stuff like that, so that keeps you fuller, so you can have more protein, so you're not eating as many meals, and it gives you more energy because when you're burning those calories, which carbs turn into sugars, which your body needs to burn off. So protein will definitely help you with your energy levels.
So protein is I think it's the most
Yeah.
satiating of all the things you
Hmm.
can have. So it fills you up.
Yeah. Keeps you fuller longer. And plus
Yeah.
I mean, it's meat, it's steak and bacon and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's better ways to do that too. I don't know. I feel like we're going so off the rails here with like all the fitness stuff. Everyone's like, God, this episode sucks.
This
But
sucks, man.
chicken's good. Generally,
Yeah.
chicken,
Yeah. That's
turkey,
the cleanest of the
steak
proteins.
is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steak's great. But like, I wouldn't say like everybody should have
Mhm.
a pack of bacon every day or something. That's not what I'm saying.
No, probably not.
Anyway,
I've done it. So yeah, so drumming. So if we're going back to uh on tour, did you have any, like, last episode we talked about warm-ups and stuff like that. But we didn't
mhm.
really talk about like your pre-show, you're putting your game face on. Do you, or like does the band have like a pre-show warm-up or pre-show ritual that you guys do before you hit the stage? Um, or it's just
No,
like
we
high
really
five,
don't.
good luck.
Nope, not even that. We I think, I guess we all kind of do our own thing and do whatever. So I've never really asked the guys like what they think about before or anything. I
Mhm.
think like one thing you can do is think so much, like you can hype yourself up too much, I think. And like, but, um, I'll like move a lot before the show. I'll jump around, uh, some stretches, um, some like just like play with some stick work, maybe a quick little like focus session, like little meditation or something, or go for a walk, try to relax. But definitely like I have like a little routine I go through, like a little, like I do some jumping jacks, I do some high knees, some kind of butt kicks. I call them butt kicks. I don't
Yeah.
know. Twists. Like there's these different kind of moves that I go to. There's kind of my little warm up ritual, but yeah, just to like get the heart rate going. So like we were talking about before, so in a previous episode, so that when I feel loose when I'm up there. I just want to walk on and feel like I'm ready to go. I'm alert. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like a little sweaty, but I'm loose.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go and have fun. Be focused but have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important. I think, at the end of the day, you're playing music, so it's about, you want to have fun and you want to project, that it's fun and awesome to be on stage, because anybody in the crowd is looking up at the stage and they're like, fuck, I wish I was up there doing that, right? So if you're up there and you're not loose and you're not prepared and you've got like that deer in headlights kind of look, that's going to come off to people that are watching, and it's just not going to be a good time. And then that leads to overthinking, and then you're going to make mistakes. So you're going to, how do you handle, like, if let's say hypothetically you're in the middle of a song and I don't know, either you break a stick and you can't grab the next stick right away, or there's a little hiccup. How do you kind of move through that on stage?
Right. I guess at the anything like that, like yeah, I don't drop sticks all that often, but it happens for sure. And yeah, I mean, you just deal with it the best you can. I think in some ways, if something like that happens to you, it like if your mind has been wandering, it's brought right back to the moment. That's for sure, because you're just like figuring this out. Like, what am I, keep the snare going, basically, keep like play the important parts
Yeah.
as much as possible. But yeah, if I ever get rattled on stage, like I can get rattled on stage for sure. But I think like anytime that I do, um, I find if I start thinking too much, if I'm like too out of body, that's when I start to make more mistakes and when I start to go deer in the headlights vibe. If I can like really listen to the music that we're making and really listen to the other guys on stage, that usually brings me back. Or if I can just, yeah, focus on like what I'm doing, or just kind of, yeah, it's not like, I don't know. I've gone down rabbit holes where I'm like almost like having a conversation with myself to like chill out if something
Yeah.
didn't go right or something. Um, or like I'm anticipating a part that's coming up, and it's like, if I had never anticipated that, I would have played it flawlessly, because I'm like getting ready for it. I'm like
Overthinking it.
I'm
Yeah.
overthinking it. So I think just like having an overall mindset that is like remembering that this is a fun thing that you're doing, and it matters, but it doesn't really matter. Like it's not life or death. And
It matters in the moment, not in the grand scheme of things.
like it's just, yeah,
Yeah.
you're having fun.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said. We're making music, and it's fun to do, and it's a privilege to do, and like I want to support the other guy. I just want to like listen and enjoy this music, and yeah, play it well. But so I don't know. I don't know if that was a good answer, but like just, if you're in a fear zone, I like try to bring myself back into a love zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna like just give, I don't know, send some love to myself, and like, let's like enjoy this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because like the most
love to the
important.
audience, love to my bandmates, love,
Yeah.
love, love, love.
Yeah. Like the most important thing I think in that situation would be your ears. Like, doesn't matter, you can't play a chop your way out of it. You got to hear where you are and just kind of come back into that, hear a cue or whatever it is that you need to get back on track. And like you say, like when as soon as you notice you're coming out of it, you snap right back in, and it's literally a split second. And most times no one else is going to notice it except for you. Maybe the other guys in the band, because as a unit, like everybody's kind of locked in. So if one person kind of zones out or isn't, part of that cog in the machine, it they'll notice. But most people, they're too busy having a good time to notice any type of mess ups or hiccups. And sometimes the coolest thing is if something happens like that, how you kind of get back into it. Like if I see somebody playing as a drummer that either, breaks a stick and then has to chuck it and grab another one, just how fluid that is,
Mhm.
sometimes I think that's cooler than any drum fill that they do, just how they deal with, overcoming something like that. And we all deal with it. It all happens. It happens to everybody, it's not, just
There's
on the
that
big
split second
stage.
when the stick drops and you have to make a call. Am
Mhm.
I going to try to get that stick back, or am I just going to abandon that and get a new stick?
Abandon it, abort every time.
Usually it's abort, but not,
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like kind of like right there and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, but then sometimes you abandon it and it like falls right by your bass drum pedal. That happened. That sucks. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
but you just gotta, I don't know, you do your best. You just do your
Yeah.
best. What can
Yeah.
you do?
Because if you try to catch it, sometimes you almost catch it, but then you fumble it, and then you're dealing with the fumble. Then your mind gets out of what you're doing, and it's focusing
Yeah.
on trying to catch it versus just drop it and move on.
The worst thing that happened, man, one time was playing this uh showcase at like Canadian Music Week or something, or North by Northeast or something, one of those ones,
Mhm.
which are so annoying. I hate those things. It's like you just go on there and it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like those are, it sucks. I'm gonna be straight up. Those like they just because like it feels like to me like, I don't know, as like this festival, like they don't care. It's just like, sure, can have a break or something, but it's like, get on, like you got this amount of time, get on, let whatever, just
Yeah.
get it over with. I don't know. It was
Changeovers like
so
less
like,
than 10 minutes.
yeah, it's just so stressful. It's like, this is stupid. This is so
Mhm.
stupid. But anyway, so to add to the stupidness of this one, um, it was the last time I didn't bring my own bass drum pedal to a thing, but like I used the one that was like on the stage. And anyway, I don't know, like if it was like someone didn't tighten it properly, but anyway, like we're in the middle of a song and the beater flies off of it. That's the worst feeling ever. Or when you're just bass drum beater breaks, like because there's nothing you can do, and it
No.
just sucks. It sucks.
And you got
Anyway,
to get to the end of the song before you can slap the beater back on, if you
pretty
can
much,
find it,
yeah,
if you can find it. And then
yeah.
that
Anyway,
eats into your short set, because those sets are like what, 15, 20 minutes tops.
Some,
If even that, usually it's like two or three songs.
some of them can be, yeah, they can be that, or they can be longer, but they're still like they're not that long or that
Yeah.
welcoming.
Mhm.
Anyway, I know we're talking about not being anxious on stage, and I'm just feeding
Just
all
feeding
the
the
listeners
anxiety.
these possible stories, things that can happen. Your
Night
bass drum could
nightmare.
beater could blow up.
Yeah. So in that situation, would you then just kind of abandon where your kick is and just hit the floor tom to make up for it?
That's what I did. I
That's
mean,
probably what I do. Yeah.
it wouldn't have sounded right at all. It would have sounded like so weird. And just feel like an idiot. But like yeah, it just sucks. I guess the lesson there is just make sure your stuff
Yeah. I
is
mean, I
working.
mean, if it was any other drum or any other stand, like the kick and the snare are kind of, that's where it's at,
Yeah.
right? So if you break a kick head or your bass drum pedal, or you snap a snare head, like, song's pretty much
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, those are the two things. Like I always bring like all I have up on stage with me with Danko, for example, is like the drums that I'm playing, and
Mhm.
then an extra snare drum all tuned up, ready to go, that I can just move one, and then
Mhm.
an extra bass drum beater, same, like the tension's everything's perfect, but
Yeah.
just so that I could slide that in, or the tech could slide it in even during the song, kind of thing,
Yeah.
like if necessary.
Yeah. Did you see that
Yeah.
Instagram video from Todd Zuckerman from Styx, where he broke his snare head, and then they're mid song, the uh, the the drum tech comes in and he stands up.
Yeah.
The drum tech comes in and swaps the snare out, gets it all set up for him, and then doesn't miss a beat. The whole song, and he doesn't miss a fill. The outro's like bang on. Like the guy's a monster drummer, but like just that whole
Oh, dude.
relationship with the drummer and the drum tech, that's
Yeah.
they gotta be. It's a unit. It's a team.
Yeah. I saw him play at Sweden Rock a couple years ago. He was so good. Some
Mhm.
drummers you get to see them play and it's just like a whole other level.
Yeah,
Like there's lots of guys that are like, wow, it's really good. But
yeah.
yeah, he was whew.
That's another topic we can get into. Not necessarily get into it now, but drummers that you've seen live that just kind of it almost made you like walk out saying, "I'm done. I can't. I'm just like, what's the point?" Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
yeah.
I mean,
I
he
have,
was just, yeah. I wasn't like I wanted. I mean, that's a whole
yeah,
other thing.
yeah.
That's a whole other topic, just like that attitude
Mhm.
about like, because
I
that can
forget.
feed into imposter syndrome too.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
thinking you're not good enough or like that drummer's
you don't
better than
belong. You
I
don't
am.
belong here. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll definitely tackle that in another episode,
yeah.
I think. I think as far as this episode goes, we kind of went off the rails. Um,
Oh,
we
big
were
time.
supposed to do a different episode, and we kind of had to pivot, and this is the episode that we got now.
This is
So
what you got.
this is what you get. We have a
Yeah.
schedule to keep. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's right. We wanted to, yeah. So we're sorry. We didn't have anything prepared. So we
no,
ranted.
yeah. So the next episode will likely be in 2 weeks. Hopefully, our guest will be available. If not, we'll have some other topics to bring up.
Yeah.
If anybody out there has topics or questions that they want to bring to us, you can send an email to lcdquarternotes@gmail.com, or you can send us direct messages or DMs, as the kids call them,
Mm.
on Instagram. I'm Dre_SGS. He's got an Instagram account as
Yeah.
well.
Rich Knox drums.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, Instagram, email, uh, do the like and subscribe stuff on YouTube and on Spotify. And yeah, so I think we'll
That's
call
it.
it quits on this one.
Let's call it quits.
All right.
This was fun though.
Oh, I had a great time. This is fantastic. I think we covered a lot. I think we just got a little nerdy on the fitness and health and wellness,
Yeah.
but that's super important as drummers. As you know, I mean, you have uh, a company called Fit Drummers or Performers Health with fit drummers as part of that for a reason.
Yeah.
As drummers, we have to look after ourselves a bit more than, I don't want to point any fingers, but the stringed instrument guys or girls or both or whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of, let's just, I just think that when you're taking care of yourself, there's a few easy ways to do it. When you do it, life just is a little bit more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
so let's do it, friends.
so let's do that. So yeah, stay fit. Oh, what's that body break?
Yeah, buddy. If it had fun, was that it?
Yeah, it was Hal and Joanne
Hal
McLeod.
Johnson,
Hal
Joanne McLeod.
Johnson,
Yeah,
Joanne McLeod. Yeah.
yeah.
Body break.
Body break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just aged
Nice.
ourselves out of the whole
Oh,
community.
bring it back. We need like modern. There probably is modern day body breaks. I haven't watched
Yeah,
cable.
maybe. Probably. Anyway, that's it for the episode, people. Until the next one.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right. See you guys.